You're listening to Snippets from the Summit with your host, Scott McKay.
All right, gentlemen, this is your main man, Scott McKay, coming at you again with another Snippet from the Summit as part of the Mountaintop podcast from X&Y Communications. As you guys already know, a whole lot of these Snippet podcast episodes are lifted directly from my coaching calls with you guys, and this one is yet another example of that. A couple of days ago, a guy asked me if women really will do strip teases for you and give you lap dances when you're dating them once you get them into the bedroom and things are starting to get a little frisky. And I gave him the most honest answer I could give him. And it kind of hit him like a ton of bricks, and it may hit you like a ton of bricks too, but I'm going to go ahead and spill the truth here, which is based not only from my own anecdotal evidence, but from hearing lots of guys talk for 19 years now about what goes on in their own dating lives. Guys, women are little show-offs, especially if they know they've got it in the physical giftedness department, for lack of a better way to put it. Okay, women who have been used to getting attention from men for having nice bodies know they've got it and they love to flaunt it. But there are several caveats, of course. First of all, you can't just go up to most women and say, hey, show me what you got, because women, as we've talked about, we've chronicled this time and time again at X&Y Communications, they need you to make them feel safe and comfortable, and the two of you need to be attracted to each other, and basically you need to avoid slut-shaming them. And once they feel that comfort level and that attraction level with you, it's as if a veil is lifted, and suddenly, instead of women really freaking out if a guy says something sexual to them, let alone trying to touch them or paw them up without their permission, all of a sudden, man, the pendulum swings completely to the other side, and women just can't wait to get naked for you. The clothes fall off, and they just love you luxuriating all over their bodies, putting your hands all over them, etc., etc. So once you get into that situation, I know a lot of you guys are probably saying, well, how do I get to that situation? Well, that's why I have behind closed doors. That's why I have female persuasion, the man's approach. We've taught time and time again about how to get women to be attracted to you and how to make them feel comfortable with you. This is a snippet from the summit. I only have a few minutes, so I'm going to get to the exact point I want to today, which is, yes, first of all, women are little show-offs. You have to kind of trust the system if you haven't seen this much in your life yet. But I'm telling you, once you master getting women feeling comfortable with you and attracted to you, the hotter they are, the more attention they're getting from guys, the easier it is to get them naked. Now, yes, pretty obviously to most guys, they'll try to look cute for dates with you, especially if they know it's a date with you, right? Some guys will try to sneak that under the door and go, oh, no, I just want to talk to you, right? Or I just want to share real estate leads. And a woman will even ask, is this a date? And the guy's too chicken to tell her, yes, it's a date. But if you do let a woman know it's a date, then what she'll do is she'll get all dressed up and look cute for you. She'll wear a little black dress and some heels. And chances are she's wearing lingerie under there. We talked about before, if you get a woman in like granny panties, once you get her naked, you can pat yourself on the back because she wasn't really planning to do that on that particular date with you. And, good job seducing her. But in most cases, any woman in their right mind is going to not only feel sexier wearing sexy lingerie, and women will do that, but they're not only going to feel sexier, they're going to be ready for you to see what they've got under that little black dress. Now, here's the deal, okay? It doesn't matter whether she's kind of out there with her sexuality or she's straight-laced and, seems like a church girl almost. Lots and lots of women are indeed very, very wary of being slut-shamed, and they just will not put their sexuality out there at all, even on first or second dates. But indeed, like I said, once she has that magical combination of feeling attracted to you and feeling comfortable with you, even her clothes will fall off. And the more proud she is of herself physically, the easier it will be. Nothing changes in that department. And by the way, a lot of very straight-laced women, especially if they're in jobs that don't put them in front of a whole lot of guys, like kindergarten teachers or, maybe nurses or something like that, they are often extremely pent up. And once those clothes come off, it's like you've basically shaken a warm bottle of Diet Coke by the time it happens, okay? So just park that in the back of your conscience for now, because it might be useful information someday in real time, right? So then what about this idea of women actually stripping for you, giving you a little show, maybe even giving you a lap dance? Well, first of all, it's got to be noted that shy women might not be up for the show, no matter what their fantasies are or no matter how much encouragement you give them, because it's just not in their personality. If they're socially reticent, they may need a whole lot of coaxing out of their shell, and it may never come to the point where they're willing to blatantly do a striptease or give you a lap dance. Some other women, and I'd argue most other women, will surprise the heck out of you, okay? Even like I said, if they're straight-laced women and don't really wear their sexuality on their sleeve in public, they may be more likely to strip for you or do a lap dance for you than another woman might. But no matter what kind of woman she is, I would actually avoid using sex worker terms like stripper, lap dance, etc. with women unless and until they use those terms. Because I think there were a whole lot of women, and not only the quote-unquote good girls, but the women who tend to wear a little bit more sexy clothing out there and enjoy the male gaze, for lack of a better way to put it, who really don't want to be branded anything really slutty. And, for a lot of women, kind of equating themselves with a stripper or a prostitute would be exactly that. So I would be very careful about just glibly saying to a woman, even offhand, hey, give me a lap dance, or, why don't you strip for me, once the moment comes, because that might trigger a woman to want to put that genie back in the bottle, if you know what I mean. I made the Diet Coke reference, the bottle analogies abound here, right? Instead of blatantly saying, hey, give me a strip tease or, act like a stripper for me or something, just tell a woman, hey, why don't you undress yourself and give me a little show? If you say something like that, it's a lot more innocuous, or maybe the better way to put it is a little more under the radar than talking to her like she's a sex worker, because you definitely don't want to trigger a woman into thinking that right at the moment when she's about to give herself to you sexually. As for the lap dance part, you could say something instead like, hey, I'd like to get a little closer look, or bring your sexy self over here, something like that, rather than saying, give me a lap dance using that particular word. Also, and importantly, if and when a woman does bring up giving you specifically a striptease show or a lap dance, the last thing you want to do in that situation is slut shame her. It might actually occur to you in the moment that, wait a minute, why is this woman talking like this? Does she have experience as a stripper? Maybe she's a little too slutty for me. That happens to a lot of guys when they're in the moment. They start having shower thoughts like that they didn't expect to have because of the reality and the gravitas of the situation. And, if you blurt that out, no more striptease, no more lap dance. So I just want to make sure you guys are crystal clear on that one for sure. And guys, you know what? Listen. Lots of women have fantasies. Just because she uses the word striptease or lap dance doesn't mean that she's actually a stripper or actually some sort of slut. She may just have fantasies like that, okay? And that's actually very normal even for good girls. So once again, guys, like I've told you before again and again, reading the room is an exceptionally valuable skill to have in this scenario particularly. Want to talk about this or anything else? Scott at mountaintoppodcast.com. Be good out there.
As always, visit mountaintoppodcast.com for more.